Super Kick Podcast!
It's a new
Show.
Yes, it is.
You've heard all the other wrestling programs. Now it's time to listen to the guys who aren't booty.
And you can't teach that.
It's hashtag WrestlePals.
There ain't no stopping us now. We celebrate on the floor. Drop down, we're ready to go. To all the people across every nation, turn it up and give me some more.
Go. Hey!
Blew everybody's eardrums out.
It's okay. I'm the one that amped up my own headphones. Hey, what's this go?
Well done.
That's all right. I like hearing...
Everything?
huh?
Or nothing.
Hey, everybody. It's hashtag WrestlePals. Okay, first of all, okay, that's the intro to the show. Hello, hashtag WrestlePals. You know, we play a fun little game here that you don't really know about. It's, hey, did Justin catch what was my favorite moment of the week? And usually, he throws it out front in the GIF or GIF, you know, if you're normal. Yeah, Justin knows what my favorite moment of the week is. Just say it. His head just... Hey, everybody's hashtag WrestlePals. Look over there. He's a guy. He's probably male, but I haven't checked.
I'm American male.
Slammy grandma. Hashtag WrestlePal Justin. Also known as a man of science.
A real man of science.
All right. There it is.
I'm making a big deal out of it.
You are making a big deal out of it. And oh, hello everybody. I'm hashtag WrestlePal Nate. I'll take spooky. You know what? Spooky fingers aren't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's acknowledgement. You're taking a piss out of somebody, but you have to acknowledge to do that. You debase yourself. You're bringing us both down, Justin.
Nah.
Thankfully, the Zions is bringing him up, so that's Zions, not a sponsor. He just legitimately enjoys the product.
I do.
He just wants the grape.
I want the grape.
Do they have like a
Wild
like a-
apple, too.
That was going to be my next question. Do they have like an apple?
Wild apple. That's a new flavor, man. The new flavor that's available everywhere but here. We've only got the 3.
It's fine. We don't need energy here.
Yes, we do.
Oh, hey.
Thanks, Bailey.
Yes, we do. She leaves us.
You know who'd never leave me, though?
Who's
she
that?
always gives me life.
Uh-huh.
Liv.
Oh, fuck.
Liv Morgan.
Oh,
I just want to take this time, as someone who was at the forefront of the Liv Morgan bandwagon, I noticed that the internet is taking notice of
really rolls off the
of
tongue
my
there.
girl.
Liv Morgan bandwagon.
I noticed people have been
LMB.
I'm pretty excited that
yo.
people are noticing how hard she's working
Mhm.
because she is doing tremendous work and she's really developing herself as a character and as a stalwart on Monday Night Raw in the women's division.
It's one of those that you tricked me into talking about Liv Morgan being. Damn it!
It was no trick.
It's fine though. She's earned that
terrific.
though. Everybody is like, usually whenever a blonde woman shows up on wrestling, the first thing is like, oh god, here we go, another blonde girl showing up, trying to look pretty, taking spots away from. It's like, all right, look, every week you watch Liv Morgan's on there. Hey, look, she's doing something new and crazy
And
and
getting
doing
better.
it well.
Yeah, she's getting better and better.
And
every
her
week.
character work is fantastic, and she's good at what she does.
It really is only a matter of time before she breaks out.
Mhm.
It's going to be a moment that goes, yep, she doesn't need everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you see, like the weird success like Carmella had.
Mhm.
You know, with somebody, without somebody, she got to a point now where you see her on any of those post-show segments. She's above and beyond bananas and embracing it 1,000%. Segment with Truth can do,
Can do.
can
do it really
do.
well.
And I got a feeling Liv's like right in that same vein of I'm gonna work really hard,
Biding her time.
and then it's like, I can be crazy too.
And in the meantime, she's getting to work with two, dare I say, grizzled vets.
Okay.
With Ruby and Sarah.
Mhm.
They just know what they're doing in there.
Yeah.
Like, again, Sarah, we mentioned, I hate to repeat ourselves, but, you may be new to the program. If you are, thanks for tuning in.
Also, he loves Liv Morgan.
I love Liv Morgan. I'd yell it, but Nathan has neighbors.
I just turned in the new lease paperwork.
Yeah, so like,
Maybe now isn't the time to go
I
yelling.
don't want to yell, but I do love
You
Liv
do
Morgan.
want to.
Oh, I want to
You
yell.
shouldn't.
I want to yell. I want to get the bullhorn out and yell right into the microphone, and the people in the back need to know. But Sarah is waiting for that moment too. Like she just needs that thing. Like Liv has the blue tongue and a little bit of wild child to her. Ruby's just tremendous all
Yeah.
around. Like
Punk rock ragdoll,
yeah,
man, is how she was billed before.
she's just great. And Sarah is too. She just doesn't have a thing.
Right.
When she has a thing,
I keep trying to go backwoods of Kentucky, but then it's like every time she gets a chance, it's just like I'm just gonna be me, and you know what? That's better, and it's great. It's always better.
I still feel like she needs, we talk. Oh man, again, repeating ourselves.
It's fine.
She needs a believe that, or like a sting. Ow,
My man,
my man. Bobby Lashley, great.
Shanti,
Something. She needs something.
Shanti. Justin, so nothing happened this weekend, right? It's just the
You're
downtime
wrong.
between. Yeah, I hear September a bad time to book shows.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Andrew
Anybody
O'Hara
will tell you.
says, "Don't you know All In is now the only thing in wrestling history worth talking about? It's like as good a place as ever to jump into. All In was this weekend.
And it erased all of wrestling history, and now is all that is.
Okay,
All in is all that. I've confused myself.
way to go. I have a feeling that's not that hard though. All right, Christopher Daniels almost puts exactly how I feel. Dear everyone, if you're bound and determined to argue the merits of All In versus Raw or SmackDown or anything WWE, could you please leave me the entire F out of it? The show I was on was a success. End of story. Full stop. Hugs and high fives. Now, I'm of the mindset, if you want to compare them, that's fine. Like, I liked it better than SummerSlam. Okay, valid.
Cool.
I was texting back and forth with Ronald, and yes, I'm putting you on blast right now, Ronald. Sorry. I wonder if
Tchaikovsky?
no, not him.
Oh,
I want to bring up the thing to see if he's listening in on the YouTube machine.
just we yell at him.
Well, no, because he backed off of it later.
Okay.
But these words, he texted these words to me.
Let me hear.
This shits on WWE. And that's the problem I have. Again, if you want to compare them, if you enjoyed it better, if you even do think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened in wrestling, cool. This shit's on WWE? No, because half the stuff, if any of it happened on WWE, you'd be bitching and moaning. Why can't they take it serious? Brr, brr, brr. And if I'm being honest, All In was a modified WWE show.
And with
It
a
had
lot
a
of,
very
with a lot
WWE
of,
pace.
A lot of ROH touches to it. And it definitely influences of New Japan and even Impact.
Mhm.
It's a hybrid. It's wrestlers doing wrestling.
It was awesome. Why can't we just leave it at it was awesome?
Well, I feel like the most important speaking on it has come from wrestlers, where they've just been like, "Hey, that was great." They never compare it to anything. They let it stand on its own merits. They
Because
don't.
it should.
They don't need to compare it to one thing or another. It's one thing I've always like looked at as like just a corporate marketing type thing. If you're ever watching commercials and you say, "Hey, buy a Chrysler because Buick's a hunk of garbage," my first thought is immediately Chrysler's a hunk of garbage too. But they think they're a slightly better hunk of garbage. I don't want somebody to compare themselves to somebody else. I mean, learn from everything around you, but don't compare yourself. Don't be just better than that person next to you. Be sorry. Be your best you, man. And I feel like that this show epitomized that of hey, we're going to do the best wrestling show we know how to do. Now, did a lot of them learn it from watching and working in WWE? Yes. Did a lot of them learn it by working indies, by working ROH, by working New Japan? Yes, absolutely. Did they learn their styles there? Did they learn their character work? Yes, absolutely. So that influence has to and is going to be there, but they did it of their own accord.
Yeah, and again,
Is it their baby birds flying out the nest, man? Going, hey, look at us, we can fly too.
and again, if you think it's the best pay-per-view that happened this year, cool.
That's great. That means you had an experience where you got to sit and watch, and you were like, click, and and you got to say, this is the best.
This is the best, and again, that's fine. I also have I also want to say, again, I feel bad putting the negativity of this out front
It's okay.
because I
You're-
loved All In,
You're trying to diffuse. You're trying to diffuse.
and it was a blast. I had a great time watching it. It was a wonderful show. It is what everybody says it is, minus the it shits on. Now, here's the biggest thing.
What?
Again, and I can point to Ronald. I'm sorry to put you on blast like this, Ronald, but
Well,
like
you have a name to put to
I have
it,
a name
so
to put to it. So he doesn't watch WWE regularly.
Okay.
So like right there, you can't compare.
'Cause he has one of the, he suffers from one of the worst things that happened to fandom, and this happens with us as well. And we've specifically addressed it at points in the past. The weird kind of revisionist history.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know if you know this, but Attitude Era was the best wrestling's ever been. Well, go back and watch it. It's
not.
it's what it
It's
was.
fun.
It was at that time, sure, and in your memory it is. But comparing that to nowadays, not only is it not fair, it's not really possible.
No.
They're two very vastly different products, and you even get that in today's era by switching company to company. Vastly different products, vastly different markets, and they all do well for themselves in the area they operate in.
Sorry, I'm doing stuff over here.
No, it's okay. Did I break it? I'm sorry.
No.
I broke the thing.
Apparently, the Restream chat needed to
Needed to restream.
do a thing.
So this was a group of individuals that have gone together, and because I think one of the best parts of All In was you had a group of very varied yet like-minded minds coming together. Because this wasn't just Cody putting on a show. Because could he pull one off by himself? Potentially.
Possibly.
This isn't just the Young Bucks putting on together a show. Could they put together a good show? Yeah, probably. Is this just Kenny Omega putting together a good show? Is it just Marty Scurll putting together a good show? Is it just each individual member of that card putting on one show? No, it was a group effort, but they didn't have the lorded over figureheads, and I don't mean that in a bad way, of the individual companies lording over them and telling them what to do. They've decided almost as we don't need a dictator to rule over us. We don't need somebody to tell us how to do this. We have that knowledge, and we respect each other enough to make those decisions together and be functional as a result. Instead of, I couldn't imagine a show together like this coming in during the 80s when you had people with huge personalities, not just in front of the camera, but behind as well, butting heads. We've talked before about locker room culture and how it's changed from an era where you can put your penis in your hand and then tell a writer to
Yeah,
shake your
right.
hand. We've could you imagine anybody on the roster nowadays doing that today?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
Just to that, Andrew O'Hara chimed in. I was at All In. It was thrilling. It was inspiring. It was historic. If you watched it and to you it was about crapping on WWE, you missed the point. Amen, brother.
Absolutely.
Exactly what I'm saying. King Kenny and thought All In had weird match placement. We'll get in. We're gonna do all the matches. That's what we do with the pay-per-views. In case you're new around here, and for people saying All In was serious, they must not have seen Joey Ryan come back from the dead like Taker, only with Viagra. We'll get there too. I promise. But to my point, Ronald doesn't watch WWE, right?
Right. But he has in his mind what WWE is to him.
Okay, but even if he watches Being the Elite, right?
Okay, interesting. It's weird what parts of that you choose to consume, because we were talking about that before the show, like what we watch, what we don't watch, and things of that nature. So he watches Being the Elite, but doesn't watch the main Raw or SmackDown shows.
And again, fine,
Okay.
because this is what had him connected to all these matches, and that is my point. Of course, to you, All In is going to be better than anything WWE does. You're invested in All In. You're watching Being the Elite. You know where these stories are. If you just tune into a random WWE pay-per-view, if you're a wrestling fan, maybe, I don't want to say purist, but like if you just enjoy wrestling,
Right.
yeah, you'll like it. Kind of like what I do with New Japan. I enjoy wrestling, so if I watch a New Japan show, I'm going to enjoy it because it's wrestling. I enjoy wrestling.
Right.
But you're not going to be as invested in a WWE show because you don't know the stories. I mean, they'll do what they can with the packages and whatnot. But
And that has become a huge part of the WWE shows are the packages. You see them week in, week out, and there's to grab new fans to come in and like, hey, here's a place to jump in. Sometimes that gets frustrating because I think we've talked about that. We were just talking about that last night with the whole the Kevin Owens Strowman storyline. It's like, oh, cool, they flipped the car and they showed it again the next week. Yeah. I've watched 2 weeks in a row and I've seen the same thing twice. This becomes frustrating at that point. So it does get frustrating after a while, but they try to invest you in those stories so that when you get to the big matches, they mean something. I think weird ground has been broken with the whole idea of Being the Elite. It started as a weird comedy series where you knew the real people were there behind it, playing characters in a show that are caricatures of those characters, which is interesting. And then at some point, sometimes inexplicably, the wall is kind of broken down and the real individuals are there talking about real stuff. Like they just had the one that I haven't watched the whole thing. The latest Being the Elite is a 45 minutes at All In thing. The opening segment, you've got the Bucks, Cody. You've got Hangman Page there sitting. They're all sitting there in the audience while they're still setting up the ring. And it's like you hear Hangman Page say, yeah, I tried to make a joke, but you know what? This is kind of a moment. It's like, oh my God, they're being just real dudes. And the fact that they exist in their own world, they've created almost this weird world where they can be real, they can be fake, they can be a caricature of fake all at the same time.
kudos to Andrew O'Hara. I like this one. You're going to like this one. Given how heavily featured Hangman Page and Joey Ryan were on All In, I would certainly say it was very much about the packages. I almost feel like Norm can do that one. Given how heavily featured Hangman Page and Joey Ryan were on All In there, you know. I would certainly say it was very much about the packages.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my eyes for a really long time. You ready? That was great.
That was good. I love that one.
Good Lord.
Again, I hate to dwell on the negative, but that's the problem, is get the negative out. All In was great. Just let it be great on its own. Just let it be. And that's how things like All In happen, is they get to live out there on their own. And that's how it succeeds, and that's how another one comes, and another one comes. If that's what they want to do, that's how it happens. That's how New Japan can come to America, and it'll be great, because it does.
If you're just open to the idea of it, you'll be surprised at how good stuff can be. I mean, that might be a weirdly bigger discussion than just wrestling in general. But
Yeah.
how much fun do you have being negative? Seems
It can't be fun at all.
Seems like it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You look miserable. You're not having a good time.
You're blowing up random people in GTA 5 for no
You
reason.
son of a bitch! I'll murder you. Go in your goddamn apartment. You got to come out someday. Probably. I don't know. It's digital. I don't know how this shit works. Murder. That being said, that negativity. How much fun do you have with that? Be open to the idea of being positive and something. It's weird to have to say to people, have an open mind in this world of fakeness.
Yeah, right.
But you get to be goddamn cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll with it for a minute?
Yeah.
Why don't you say, hey, you know what I want to see? I want to give a chance. Bobby Lashley. And then all of a sudden,
My man. Suddenly I love Bobby Lashley.
what the hell happened?
My man.
Ridiculous.
Why is that working? Okay.
Don't know, because we scratched it and we said, all right. Oh, you got something. Hey, look at you. You got something.
Yeah.
Just open to the idea.
Just going.
And if
do.
And if you are that negative on something, man, don't watch it. Let it go. There's
Seriously.
enough people that are going to dig it that you can back off and let them have their thing. You don't have to storm into a room and say, hey, you guys having fun? Well, cut that garbage out.
Yeah, this is trash. How
Now
dare
I'm
you?
going to leave and not support anything. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it comes back to that whole. Most of them probably don't even watch WWE, but they're spreading like this negativity, like they know everything about it.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't like WWE, that is cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just shut up. Just you don't have to rain on my parade because I do enjoy it. That it doesn't make me any less of a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Let's get to the positivity, man, because All In was a blast. It was so much fun. It felt New Japan-y, like in the way they built
Panty.
in the way they built the card. But it felt kind of WWE paced, like as far as, when they decided, okay, this one's going to only be like 10, 12, this one's going to be 20.
Oh, yeah, and there was a whole controversy with that stuff, too, about the match timing and stuff.
Yeah, well, the main event got like all of 8.
We'll wrap into that as we get near the end there.
I didn't get to see the pre-show. I was out there walking. But I do know, obviously, that Flip Gordon won the over the budget battle royal.
Yeah, just beautifully, just ridiculous.
Again, playing into the storylines that they've been telling on BTE.
This has been the character they've played for him forever. It's like, Flip, cool.
I saw somebody say, "Well, why didn't they just put that on the card?" Because Flip wasn't booked.
Right.
Flip wasn't booked. He can't be on the card.
It's a character, man. It's his whole thing. That's his entirety of his character right now. It's just, oh yeah, that guy. There he is. No, you're not on the show.
But now he got booked because he won the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's simple. That's just fun.
It's just beautifully done. And you know what? This was the weird, like, you had the nice little goofy comedy segments in here, and it was fun. You're going to have a lot of serious wrestling later on in the show, and penis druids. But you're going to this is a chance to kind of weirdly kind of break the tension, have some fun, show off some people that you know. Here's some faces you know. Look, they're on the show. And does anybody hate a battle royal?
How can you? I mean, I guess you can.
One-on-one competition, tag team special. Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, we
It's
get it.
impossible. It sounds. Oh, jeez. Sorry.
So
I see you playing over there.
yeah, I'm just getting fun stuff up. So we had the fun battle royal,
Mhm.
and then that moves us into the card proper. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of want this.
Yes. Look, I see what you're doing, and I just need that all the time. Makes me happy. How does he move his body but not his head? It's great. If you look really closely, the name tag says Drakey Poo.
All right, Andrew O'Hara has got us a new hashtag. Hashtag New Japany.
Panny.
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 So the first match, again, I didn't watch I didn't catch the whole thing. I was finishing my walk, and I came in, and we were towards the end of it. It was MJF and Matt Cross. If I can tell you, like the little I've seen of MJF on MLW, I like the character. I want to see that kind of expand. I don't know if you got a chance to do that much here, but
It's about exposure. I mean, beginning top of the card, we're gonna have a match where get out of there. You get to show off some people. I mean, and we won. Sorry.
you got the card there.
Yes.
You want
sir.
to move it on to the next one?
Okay, this is where it starts picking up and starts getting the like notoriety of the whole thing. You had Christopher Daniels versus Stephen Amell, and
What a popcorn match.
why is Stephen Amell doing this? Does he need to do this?
Nah, but he's just good. Like, I mean, was this some barn burner match? No, but as far as second matches,
I'm sorry. Do you know he's like not a wrestler, right?
yeah.
Like, this isn't his job. He has another job. It's a good one too, from what I hear. He gets to act for money.
Yeah.
So that isn't enough for him.
Clearly.
He's got to come and do this as well. And he's actually watching through the being the elite. He's actually like, hey, I got a little storyline. Look at me. Hey, I'm doing things. And I'll be damned if he didn't try his damnedest to be as good as he could possibly be. Now, I don't. There's one thing like training and learning how to do things well, and there's another thing to go and like, here's your first like big performance with it, and do well. It's not like he had tune-up matches. There weren't a few weeks building into this where he was like, hey, we're going on TV for a main event that's going to have a double disqualification finish and the pull apart. No. He showed up and they had a match and it was good. Granted, it's Christopher Daniels, which you know what we've seen the Ibushi versus the doll. Let's see what Christopher Daniels can do with that.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it would be great. That being said, Amell held up his end
Wonderfully.
very well.
Yeah.
He didn't go out there and like usually whenever like you get a celebrity into the ring, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, they have to be coddled and we have to weirdly overpower them, and all of a sudden you've got Jay Leno and Karl Malone, and then David Arquette shows up and shit gets weird, right?
Oh, that's right. It's in the pay-per-view thing.
And nah, dude. Stephen Amell's like, hey, don't worry about what I do for a living. I'm here to fight, and legitimately wrestled. Can you believe it? Also, chain wrestling can be fine. Headlocks,
You don't have to dive through everything.
Maybe some headlocks. Also, once you're done with that, how about an armbar? I hear those are very popular.
Let's move number 272.
That's what I thought. I thought I was close to that. I didn't know the exact number, but I knew I was close. Where's armbar though? Headlock. Why don't you do a headlock?
323.
323. Really?
Also, I just wanted to take this opportunity to remind the world that I love Liv Morgan. I feel like the biggest thing about this move has been I haven't had the opportunities to tell the world as much on the show, how much I love her. And I just want everybody to know that I do indeed love Liv Morgan. And you guys should know that, in case you didn't.
Who?
Don't go there.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry. I know this is probably important to you.
Yeah.
Or your character.
It's a great deal of importance to me,
Or
because
your-
I'm not Bay
Ever.
yet. I'm going to be.
He worked on that. I want you to know before the show he worked on it. Like, have the confidence. Don't look over there. Look at the camera. If I had a button to just kill the stream right now, I would.
I just got to picture where it is.
Like, I
think
just
it's
want to.
like-
I want to open hand slap this board here, so
There it
just
is, right
everything
there.
goes away.
Why would you do that? That's just wrong on all levels, Nathan.
I'm sorry.
And mean, actually. Mean-spirited, even.
The women's 4-way match. was
Okay,
awesome.
well, Chris Daniels gets the win. Anissa, a moment of respect afterwards.
And you know
shaking
what?
hands and
And
whatnots.
the beauty of it is, winner doesn't matter.
No. Nope.
Had a good show. Had a good match. It was fun. Story was fun. Hey, look
Kept
at
the
this
crowd
guy
hot.
who doesn't need to do this stuff doing this stuff. Amazing.
Kept the crowd hot. crowd was pretty solid all night. And then so up next is indeed the women's match, the women's 4-way. Okay, so a couple notes here. This is the first time I've ever seen the hot mess Chelsea Green. I'd seen her former character. I can't remember what it was called on TNA.
Laurel Van Ness?
That's her.
Because it rhymes.
Yeah. But
Yeah, what'd you think?
I love the hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's tremendous because it has the ability to go both ways. If she wants to be just awful, evil human, I can do that. Want to be...
It's not a far tweak, right?
Right. If I want to be a good guy, I can do that. If I want to be some fun, goofy character, I can do that.
They're
Tremendous.
They're not far adjustments. And you know what? It feels like... I don't want to say necessarily it was like stereotyping of a certain type of girl, but it's like taking an archetype that, I'm sorry, everyone has one of these in their life. Several, perhaps. It's nice to see that as a personality and or a character turned up and brought to a wrestling stage. It's like, oh, this isn't a female trying to do a weird male character, but as a female.
Yeah.
I don't want a female this or female that. Or it's a girl this. She's like a this, but a girl. No, this is definitively like. Can you imagine a dude pulling off this gimmick?
No.
And it working and feeling right?
Almost like a Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Like-
Don't say Festus. I swear to God, I'll knock you out of that chair. I'll pick you up and like say I'm sorry a lot, but I'll knock you out of the goddamn chair.
Keen Kenny asks, am I buying 2K19 to play as Liv Morgan? First of all, okay, so she's a 71 in the game. Not bad.
I thought you said she was a 10.
Well, she is 10 in my books. I live her.
You what?
I live her.
It's not a verb. It's a proper name. Do you still capitalize it when you bastardize it in such a manner?
How dare you? But no, I am not. My brother actually bought pre-ordered it for me.
When
So
does it come out?
October sometime. It's usually late October. I think somewhere around my birthday.
I don't know if I'll put my time into that.
You'll have too much GTA to play.
I got stuff to do. Very busy person, man, probably. All right. So
Andrew O'Hara, welcome to the stream. Like, he's on fire in here. Clearly, the hot mess does go both ways. She's into men and giant power tools. Guess which one Zack Ryder is? Okay, I don't.
Didn't she do a broski boot at one point?
She did.
Good for her.
Exactly. But
Like, hey, just in case. Hey, does this look familiar? Tee.
Tee. Can you guess which? It's funny. As far as I know, this is the first time I've seen him, Andrew O'Hara, in here. I don't dislike Ryder as much as I used to. But yeah, I still kind of get that. Yeah, I'm a tool. I'm a tool bag. Woo, woo, woo.
Hey,
Am I wrong?
are you getting a reaction? Is he getting a reaction from you?
No, because he's not on television.
Oh, come on, man. He's trying to work, probably.
I mean, again,
He's
especially
going to
after
come back with even a bigger beard.
I saw him on the table of three with Matt Hardy and Xavier Woods, and I can't hate the guy anymore. I was like, oh man, he's too likable. But he's never going to be on E&C.
Oh?
Yeah.
Why?
They said they're because they called him. They were trying to do the Edgeheads reunion. Hawkins answered. Ryder did not.
Whoa, so is he banned
He's
forever?
banned. And they were like, we're gonna have Chelsea on.
And as his replacement?
Yep.
Good. Aw, poor bastard.
We also did indeed. Britt Baker was in the match. The doctor, the good doctor, as it were, and making reference to it. She's Ms. Baby. I can't yell.
A little bit.
Baby.
Baby.
What's going on with you?
Baby. I don't know, man.
What if I do this? Adam Cole.
Baby.
Not bad.
I was telling you before the show that goddamn Shock to the System music is like my favorite song ever right now. I can't stop, or I'll have to play the goddamn air guitar, and I don't want to.
He was tuning it the other day on NXT. He was tuning the championship belt like it was his guitar. Good times.
Kyle O'Reilly's a goddamn gift.
Let's see.
You're welcome with World.
Tessa Blanchard,
Mm-hmm.
proving again. I was talking with Ronald because he goes, Kenny Omega, hands down best wrestler in the world today. It's like, okay. And I was like, I could make a case for Styles, and I was like, I could make a case for Tessa Blanchard. She's putting on like quality matches with both men and women all over the world.
Yeah.
Styles isn't. Omega's not.
So what you're saying is you
Tessa's
want
wrestling everybody.
you want them to fight women.
I'm just
Understood.
saying. I'm just saying.
You want them to fight wrestlers. They kind of get weirdly hobbled into their status. It's almost like the higher up on the card you are, the more limited it is that you can work with. Which is, again, one of those reasons why I love the G1 every time it comes around. You're going to see weird combinations that you would never see, and you're going to get good matches out of it because you've got competitors that won't put on bad matches.
Yeah.
Refuse to.
And I mean, again,
The higher up on the card, the less likely you're going to get a weird match. But
Tessa is putting on unbelievable matches with anybody she gets steps in the ring.
yeah,
with.
as one of those things about being a woman competitor is you get to fly under that weird radar of top of card thing, and you get to spread your wings and do pretty much whatever you want. You are going to be a draw no matter where you are, for simple reasons, and then you keep people because you're good, and she good, and it's nice to see. She had signed that long term contract with Impact, and it's like, is she just gonna be gone for a while now? And it's like, no, she's still everywhere all the goddamn time, and good.
Yeah.
Good. The more you see of her, the more you want to see of her, and that's a nice quality to have in any competitor. And it isn't just like a pleasant surprise. It's like, I would search out Tessa Blanchard matches. It's fun. It's fun. What's up?
And then Madison Rayne was the fourth.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember her name. She wrestled as Ashley Rayne in the Mae Young Classic, which is airing now.
And
Watch that after
wasn't
our
she
show.
Also just on the last Slammiversary too? So she's
I
on
think so.
every major show
Yeah.
ever.
She's putting in
Hi,
the work.
I'm in every company today.
These women,
Good for her.
these women tore it down.
Yeah, this wasn't just we're gonna go. It's time for the ladies match, guys. It's the attraction match. Here we go. Go, oogle the ladies. It's like, no, they're gonna just throw each other and hit really hard, and blood and sweat are gonna be all over the place. Because it's wrestling.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Go figure. They wrestled.
Ah,
Dig it. Next is
Pharaoh.
I don't have the.
Pharaoh the dog.
I mean, he was there.
Pharaoh.
Uh huh.
Oh, do you have the
This is the card, but this is not the order.
Okay, is this the order right? Was it Cody next?
Maybe 4 seems early, and I think that was one of the problems people had was because Cody was early. And I wonder if that
My
was
memory's so freaking bad. I'm sorry. But yeah. It looks like that was the next match according to all the raps here.
and this is
It
this
didn't feel that early because it had a big match feel to it.
yeah. Well, and also that was the point I was going to make. This is why it felt like a WWE show. This felt like the first main.
Yeah.
Like SummerSlam had AJ and Joe. That was the first main. Like
Right.
it was. Let's put the show on pause for a second. Like this is the big match, and then we'll build it right back up afterwards. Leslie did not like Cody versus Aldis.
Why?
She said it was sloppy, and among other things. Yeah, I mean, to a point, I agree with her.
Okay.
This was a very old school match, though.
I think that's part of the nod to it. This is going to be for the NWA title, that long reigning history, and I think even the announce team was making mention of that. It's 39 years almost to the day since Dusty Rhodes won his first NWA title, and it's supposed to be kind of a callback to that, almost as if this is a weird special attraction amidst a sea of special attractions. This is going to be an old school NWA style match, and
I loved.
I think it kind of fit that mold, man.
I like Aldis. I like Nick Aldis. I hated Magnus.
Sorry.
I like Nick Aldis.
Okay.
I mean, it's
why is it
he's
because
imposing.
he's
the
getting the-
dealer. I like that name, the dealer. It's fun.
Yeah.
Comes out in that jacket. He's just kind of smarmy, and I mean, he's not reinventing the wheel, but like he's playing a bad guy.
He's old school Southern style wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Just big, mean dude who doesn't need to talk a lot. Goes out there and puts a big, slow hurt on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like
That's that style, man. And
I
you know
liked-
what? It's nice to have that contrast in the show as well. You can have a big main that has that slower style, and you have Cody who can accentuate that. And
Cody playing the straightforward babyface. He was the good guy.
okay, was that the weirdest big pop of the night? Cody's coming out. First of all, his corner team
Is everybody?
They all have like yes, everybody. First of all, the entire crowd is part of that corner team.
Yeah, really.
But then he comes out of his entrance, big pop, of course.
For so many reasons.
Camera pans down, the dog's there.
Yeah.
They have to acknowledge it because this is his dog. This is a world famous dog. It lives online. This is Cody. You have to know Cody going into the show. And this is his dog, Pharaoh. And everybody loses their goddamn mind. Oh, it's a dog! Yay! And the interview after the show, Cody's like, "Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring the dog to the ring, but pop like that, you're gonna get a come on, boy. Here we go." It's like fucking. That's the best. I'm sorry, I'm cursing now, but that's the best. Like, you like the dog? Do you? All right, here's some more dog.
Here's the dog.
I'm sorry, Tommy Dreamer. You have to take the dog now. Take him for walkies.
Tommy.
And also, Tommy with the polka dot pants made me very happy.
Chicago Tommy. He's been wearing those.
I know he has, but
Tommy,
specifically for this match, that's a nice little nut.
Tommy.
Maybe those are the only pants he has.
Those are the only pants he has.
I mean, not that he can't afford them. It's just that he doesn't want it anymore. It's like, oh nope, found my pants for life now.
This is what I wear now.
I understand that. I have a pair of
will not remove them.
black sweatpants that were too big for me when I was much bigger, but at the same time, I'm never giving up on them. I'm just cinching them tighter. I understand the feeling. Well done. Also, you have to mention Cody's belt that he was wearing, which was fantastic. First of all, what you got? Oh no.
No, this is honestly was one of the thoughts I had on it. Let me see if I can bring it up over here so I'm not staring over there. Cody was fourth on the card. From seeing him at the Bunny Ears Live podcast, Cody implied his match was where it was on the card because he had to go back and almost immediately put the headset on to run the rest of the show. That's what I figured too.
Hey, you know what? That is not a bad problem
No.
to have.
Nope.
Sorry, scrolling back down. Scroll and stare. Ugliography, great band.
Yeah.
Check it out.
So
So
you
Cody, you have to acknowledge his the belt that he had, the weight belt. First of all, wearing a weight belt, adorable. He had the Rhodes name on it, and then on the back he has the do the work he puts on there.
the work.
The do. Shoot, I don't remember. I just remember the is gold because gold dust, and one of them is polka dot for Papa.
One of them's
And one of them's that
American flag.
the American Nightmare song. Yeah, so it's like, look at this dude. Like, can you write a better family feel good moment? Can in full on blonde hair, evil looking Cody, but still it's like, sorry, we're not booing you, sir.
There's no way he's getting booed in that building. So I
And-
mean, it's smart to play up.
And they
I'm the
also
good
it's like,
guy.
nah, I'm just the good guy, which helps again. Al just be as just a dastardly a hole as you can be.
See, that's what I love though.
Be slow, take away what the people want to see, deny them, slow it down, and beat the good guy.
The biggest thing that I loved was at the one point, they're checking out Cody. Oh man, he's hurt. He can't continue. And he goes under and blades himself. out.
Whatever. Crimson Mask. Again, it's all callbacks to the old school NWA style, and that's part of it.
But you notice, at first all this is just kind of backing off, and then, nah, I got to be the bad guy. Goes in, scoops him up, and just starts going to work on him. Bravo. To me, I love that. That's just bad dude stuff.
It's easy bad. It's good guy feeding bad guy opportunity, and bad guy making the most of it. And then at one point, Brandy's like, no, and covers him up and takes a friggin' elbow. What kind of a bad dude? What kind of a monster drops an elbow on the lovely Brandy Rhodes?
Nick Aldis.
You jerk.
He's a
Good
jerk.
job. Well done.
Uh,
And good job to Brandy, of course.
yeah. King Kenny asks, with Cody as NWA champ, has NWA have a deal with ROH and New Japan?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, a lot of people have been asking Billy, about what does this mean for NWA, and they've immediately kicked right over into the. By the way, we've got our 70th anniversary show coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Do you want to hear about NWA tag titles potentially? NWA Women's Championship potentially? NWA is rehabbing itself. Billy, a fan of wrestling, knows what wrestlers need, knows what fans like, doing his damnedest to create a weird, instead of building a foundation of a organization, he's building like a weird net that can be tossed over anything else and be that inclusive. It's a different business model where it's a little more fluid. It goes a little more in and out, but in an era where wrestlers are taking more of a control over their own future, over their own booking, and being more willing to work with people, and the companies are starting to open up a little bit for opportunity. This is a perfect time for a net instead of a foundation. And I'm sorry. Do you want more attention for your title? Seems like a good place.
Yeah, right.
You have crazy history with the Rhodes family, and that title going back, like I said, 39 years, damn near to the day. And you get an ultimate feel-good moment from somebody playing ultimate babyface with this legendary title, which we've always said NWA is like when NWA is on a marquee, it means something. And they've had in the past where they've tried to do almost like affiliate programs, and it works out good. And you have
NWA Fusion. I actually did some commentary for them.
I know you did. I'm not touching it. But they would have their champion tour around again, and the more of a top-down approach rather than bottom-up.
That's how I saw Adam Pierce.
Yeah, and it was
10
great,
pounds of
right?
gold. Yeah, he wrestled Preston Quinn. It's great. It was great.
Just old school
In
beating.
Gloucester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like, but then Billy on top of it and helping with the promotion and notoriety of it, and putting that on a more global scale, instead of trying to build the foundations all around, laying pilings to put it. I don't know why I'm making a doc all of a sudden. This is weird.
King Kenny asks, does NWA
Thank
have
you.
any TV or streaming service? I don't think so. Not yet. I don't think they have a product like that. I think they just have a champion, and you know,
They have a champion and they have a brand. They have a brand without a show, and they have a model in which that can work as long as they're willing to have those working relationships. And you have All In trying to be a success at this point, wanting as much notoriety as it can, willing to capitalize on that history. You've got two entities building each other up.
Yep.
And when that happens, when people are coming together, good things happen. Amazingly, when everybody's best interests are taken into account and everybody's there working not just for themselves, but for everyone around them, stuff gets good. You had an amazing story told over the NWA belt, and now it has more value as a result. Has an amazing lineage, awesome history. Now it has a fun story and an amazing figurehead.
Andrew O'Hara, I'm fairly certain that whole injury spot was improvised because Cody either lost or forgot his blade. He was laying on the floor for a really long time and then crawled under the table. I don't think it's a coincidence that he didn't duck under the table until after Daivari came out there. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Those are those fun things where you can just go, hey, I know what you did. Enjoy those moments.
Yeah,
It's
it was
okay
fun.
to know those things. Yeah, you just suspend your disbelief just enough.
I mean,
Suspend and go, hey, look, they fixed the thing. They did the thing. Good for them.
good for them. So Cody Rhodes wins the NWA Championship. Look at that. What a moment.
It was an amazing feel-good moment. And every one of those pictures is just iconic of him holding that belt, of him collapsing in the ring, of Brandy being there with him, and everybody celebrating with him. And those will follow that title forever. And those will the pictures of his father doing the same things will follow forever. Adding legacy to both accounts, to Cody and to the NWA title, amazingly well done. And this is, NWA was suffering there for a good long while. This could be the dawn of a new, not just generation for NWA, but like making the business model successful. It could be that one step that puts them into a, hey, don't forget the NWA title. It's being defended here. And it can still travel. And it's got notoriety. And when whoever that Cody drops that to, it's going to be a big friggin' deal.
Yep. Well, again, it goes back to that's what the NWA title was.
Right.
You roll into a territory and you would defend it. So I mean, that's just it's interesting to see how that's going to develop.
It's an old school concept in a modern era with a new business style that might just work.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm glad to see somebody doing something different, and I'm glad to see it succeeding. If only for a while, I'm glad to see somebody breaking a model. Because when models get broken, everybody kind of benefits, and new stuff gets tried.
I think next is our Chicago street fight, right?
Chicago street fight.
So Joey Janela, the bad boy, takes on.
First of all, I just want to say, has there ever been a more amazingly heelish thing to do than smoke a cigarette? Nothing looks grosser in this day and age than just a cigarette and just blowing. Oh, for Christ's sake. Everything leading up to it's like I didn't know a whole lot about Joey Janela. I knew
Right.
Bad Boy. He has his the
Spring Break.
and
He former white belt champion now. On Dojo Pro.
look at you broaden your horizons. But
Trying.
just nothing says this guy's a jerk like a dude with a cigarette. Ugh. Was there actually a barrel?
Yes, there was a Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
Barrel.
I want to acknowledge how, look, they're going to have product placement, but they're not just going to be like, here's the product. It's going to be, we're going to acknowledge it. Not only that, we're going to kind of weirdly make fun of it, but in an endearing way where you're like, guess what, Justin? I kind of want to go to Cracker Barrel right now.
I'll never go. Have I told you that story? I'm never going to
Is
Cracker
it because they fired that dude's wife?
Barrel. No. It's from
Don't
well
remember that?
before that. I do remember that. It's from well
What
before that.
what
Let me
wrestler
ask you
yelled
this.
at you at a Cracker Barrel parking
Nobody.
lot?
Let me ask you this. It has
Oh,
nothing to
he's
do with
nobody
wrestling.
now. Okay, continue.
Well, you
We're
know,
all
it's
tag team champions.
this really has nothing to do with anything, but we're talking about Cracker Barrel.
I was
This
here
story
this
needs to
summer.
be told. I drove 9 hours out to Hazard, Kentucky to
happens.
meet my friend Chris. We picked him up. Drove.
Bo and Luke, I believe you.
We get there, and they're like, you go to Cracker Barrel? You just have some dinner? It's like, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll do that. 3 hours later, back the way we just came from, we get to Cracker Barrel. So now we've been on the road for pretty much 12 straight hours.
Okay.
To
are you
eat
gonna
Cracker
Are you
Barrel.
going to sleep there at the Cracker Barrel at that point, or you got to go another
No,
3 back?
We got to go 3 back. And then the food was garbage
Well,
on top of all of it. I'm never going to Cracker Barrel again.
there's a point at which you just say, you know what, I'm going to try this gas station food.
I wish he would. They just said we're going to Cracker Barrel. Let's go eat
I can
food.
get a meal at a 7-Eleven. It's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be the best thing I've ever had, but yeah,
I'm
3
sorry
hours.
to correct you, Andrew O'Hara. Joey Janela is not the devil. I mean, I agree with your point. He had a cigarette and a hot chick who's into wrestling. Joey Janela is not the devil. Ciampa is. You're the devil, Tommaso Ciampa. You're the devil.
How dare you say his name?
Yeah, you're right.
I feel bad.
How dare I mention?
I have to go console the children. There aren't any here, but if there were, I'm sorry. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
So
Just his name.
12 hours for freaking Cracker Barrel. If they would have
What'd
just
you get?
said,
You get the chicken fried.
I got
steak?
some like barbecue thing because it was like
So you
2 in the
fine.
afternoon
That's where
or
you messed up.
something.
You know what you should have got?
Yeah, I didn't know,
Should've-
and I was hungry and exhausted. That one beer from the road beer
Did
finally hit.
Did you win the little golf tee puzzle?
No,
You didn't win the golf tee puzzle.
no, we didn't do any of that
How many
garbage.
tees you got down to? I got down to 6.
I don't know all this about that garbage place because I'm never ever
So
going.
angry.
I am.
Take it to
We should
Cracker Barrel.
probably move off of this because it's
There was a
making me rather
barrel.
upset.
Look, hey, they made us talk about Cracker Barrel. You know why?
Mm.
Product placement, and they had a goddamn barrel.
It was fun.
Do we have
The Cracker
commercials?
Barrel.
No, it was a Cracker Barrel.
This was, I mean, it is Chicago street fight, so it is what you think it's going to be. And, you know, these two are insane. They definitely go
Yeah.
way off the reservation.
Look, if you ever needed, if you coming in casually to being the elite, you're like, okay, Young Bucks, I've heard of them. Kenny, of course. Cody, of course. Yeah, I've heard of these guys. And then Hangman Page is there, and you're like, wonder what they like Hangman around for. I guess. I mean, I guess he's a good dude. They like
Got a
friends
big
with
dong
him.
apparently.
I guess. I suppose. And then you see this. It's like, oh, okay. He's really good and insane, and will do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he have shoes on? I don't know.
Why were his boots talking to him?
Because he's insane and willing to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Including hitting Joey Janela with a phone
it happens.
and choking him with the cord.
Happens.
Mhm.
Happens.
Well, I mean, that's how he killed Joey Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Eh,
because he admitted to murder in the middle of the ring.
shouldn't do that. Shouldn't admit to murder.
I mean, this was a fun street fight. Had all the big moments of, wow, why are you doing that? Oh, don't do that. Ah,
Why do you have a ladder
Stop
and
that.
a Oh, shit.
please don't.
He did it. He did it.
Joey Janela at one point, this clothesline, like he's up on the stage and like the head of steam was so slow. I mean, I can't make fun because mine would be at least that slow, but it's like, and the commentary says it, oh, Joey Janela with the head of steam, and then the clothesline was good at least. But then he jumps off that same stage because he's a nutso.
The goddamn maniacs.
No, that was just the door, so I'm waving at the door.
Oh, okay.
No worries. No worries.
It's going to be Matt running in. It's going to scare the shit out of both of us. Oh, noes.
Oh no! This went way too far back. We're not that far back. Paige with the Paige with the fall away slam to the chair. Ugh. There was a lot of just that ladder spot. My exact note: yuck. That ladder spot was gross. And then ew, that power bomb to the table. And then rite of passage off the ladder through a table.
And, this was going to be the weird gimmick match for the night. And guess what? They made the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
It stood out for those reasons. You have the opportunity to stand out in this way, and they do it to the best of their ability. And I'll be damned. And it stayed weirdly in storyline of being the elite. It's like you get rewarded. It's like, oh, you've been following the story? Here's that phone. What's up? It may or may not have been allegedly, kind of. Well.
No, he admitted to it.
Okay, look. All right. I'm not one to lay down accusations.
But again, like
Baseless.
now I know that, I like Hangman Page. Before, I think I'd only seen him in 6-man.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And Janela, the only things I'd seen from Janela was Dojo Pro, where he
Yeah.
doesn't get to do much.
Right. Hey, every time we've seen Adam Page, it's like, oh, God, is he going to take the pin? Oh, no, Chase Owens is there. God bless you, Chase Owens. Someone needs to take that pin, and you're the man to do it. And I'll be damned. I love you for it.
So, Nathan, Hangman gets the big win.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be it, right?
Big celebration. I won. Yay. If you didn't know who I am, Hangman Page, I'm great.
Man, I'm great.
Bye.
I'm stealing this from Andrew O'Hara. Dong. There was no dong. There should have been. You're right.
There was.
Well, yeah. How do you not have... I mean, if it's going to be like an Undertaker-style entrance with penises, how are you not donging? Why is there no dong?
Technically, he's donging everywhere he goes.
That's true. Always donging.
It's,
He's donging us right now.
He doesn't even want to.
No, he's just... Joey Ryan.
They make him try to check that whenever he gets on a plane. It's got to be annoying.
I want it. I want that theme. Is that... I don't think that's the theme he uses everywhere. But that theme was hot. I was like, I like this song. Because I think he uses like the Pina Colada song everywhere. But not for All In. Because it was, I assume because it was televised. So they might have had to write all new themes.
Hey, whatever.
Diving too deep into this.
Did it work?
I liked it.
There you go.
I liked it. And this...
And storyline wise, this is a different Joey Ryan. This isn't quite the same.
No,
He's
it's
back from the dead.
back from the dead. Now, okay, so... And this is where Ronald had said this shits on WWE, which I thought was hilarious.
Okay.
I was like, dude, if inflatable penises showed up on WWE television, people would lose their minds on calling it, why can't they be serious? Are you kidding? This is ridiculous.
Didn't they have like the Johnsons as a tag team in like flesh colored bodysuits?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, if you want to go through like ridiculous history, again, not comparing, but yeah, of course it's silly. This is the dude what gets silly. Guess what? That's okay to have. You have that contrast. You literally just had an NWA championship title change hands in a slow-paced, methodical, amazingly story-told, classic heel babyface back and forth, where the babyface overcomes the odds and wins, and it's a feel-good moment. Do you want to do the exact same thing for every match from then on? You can. Guess
can.
what?
It'll
Those
be
are boring.
boring.
Those are boring shows.
It'll be boring.
And it takes away the magic of it. And you have to have something different.
Something
and sometimes you
yeah.
need a weird ass story spot to make you go, "Wow, this is interesting." Okay, now back to wrestling. And that's okay. If it's not your thing, check out for a minute, man. It's gonna be all right.
Well, that's my thing. This was universally praised as wonderful, and it was. It was truly wonderful. Like I loved it. This was great. I was laughing. I was having a great time. But then to hear this shit's all over WWE, that are the same people that.
This was a moment of they get to have a little bit of creative fun too. And you know
Yes.
what? A lot of wrestlers I don't think get to do that. They get not necessarily assigned a character, but given the parameters of the character, given their story beats, given their direction, and this is them like freewheeling, having no scaffolding to build off of, having no superstructure they have to adhere to, and they can just do whatever the hell they want. And guess what they did? They did a creative spot. Was it over the top and ridiculous? Yes. You know what's kind of cool sometimes? If you do it every once in a while, and maybe once in a big crazy show, crazy, ridiculous, over the top stuff. Bring out the penis druids.
Yes.
Dong.
Andrew O'Hara, if you're questioning whether or not you like Hangman Page, watch his work during G1, which incidentally is the section we parked at Sears Center. Yeah, I think I may go back, and because again, I'd only
G1 is
seen him-
always the best place to get good matches from everybody. Again, it's because you get that mix up of the cards too. You get the top of the card versus mid card, and it's like everybody's on equal footing, and everybody's going to put on a good show.
Yeah.
Nobody at the top of the card half-asses it in the G1.
So Hangman Page gets a huge win. Joey Ryan comes back from the dead,
Happens.
and then Page gets carted off by inflatable penises.
Okay, and again, I want to just the at the show being the elite that like just came out here not so long ago. They have kind of a little backstory on what Joey Ryan had been doing, and he had to fake his own death. And he said the rigorous training and focus, also the steroids, helped me get back to condition. It's like, oh my god, this goddamn mad person. Well done, well done.
Yep. Just
It's amazing what a lollipop and a penis can do.
gonna
That's
let,
just.
no. I'm gonna
I
let
was
that
trying
one
to
breathe.
I was trying
No.
to change the subject.
I'm
I
gonna
had
let
other
that one
things I
breathe.
wanted to talk about. Here, I've got a diagram for us for later. Here we go.
No, I'm letting it breathe.
I'm bringing the lollipops.
So up next
Shameless. Sorry.
is next the ROH World Championship match.
Yes, sir. Flip Gordon versus.
He got booked.
No, he earned it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The butt of the joke for years and years.
You know what he
seems.
did though?
What did he do?
Because okay, so he wrestles Jay Lethal here, which again, he must have floated past those accusations.
Mhm.
Like clearly nothing has come of that. But
Hey, all right. Hey, all right.
he came out as Black Machismo with Lanny Poffo.
Again, though.
As you do.
Yeah, like you do. God, could we come out somewhere with Lanny Poffo?
He would. Well, you know what? If we gave him
Does he
$20,
still- Does he still have the beard?
no.
'Cause I think he'd fit right. Oh, that makes me sad. Can he grow out the old genius beard? Because it was perfectly trimmed and wonderful. We'll all get purple robes, mortarboards. It'll be fun.
I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
All in, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Flip Gordon impressed me. I'd only seen him a couple times again in like 6-man action. I think
Because yeah, there'd been a lot of hey, yeah, here's the joke.
here's this guy. And
Do they associate with anybody that's garbage?
No,
Does anybody
really.
work at New Japan that's garbage?
not that I know.
Would they tolerate anybody being garbage there?
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
But he was impressive. I really enjoyed his work here with Lethal. And Lethal has that fun moment of coming out to the ring. Poffo does one of these to turn him into Machismo.
Mm-hmm.
And so he comes out and he's macho manning it up, and he thinks Brandy is Liz. And
Of course she is.
he before the match starts, he gets out of the ring, goes over to Brandy, pulls her by the arm. Stay over here. And then she walks back. She's like, no. And then, they get back in the ring. Later on, he puts her up on his shoulder, spinning around, and Liz, and then she does one of these. He turns back into Lethal.
Very good.
And he's like, where am I? All right. Come on, Flip.
Come on, Flip.
And then they wrestle. It was fun.
Again, the being the elite lead into that of him being terrified of his own reflection, who is Black Machismo belittling and berating him. You'd be nothing without me, and it's goddamn insane. Goddamn insane.
But these two have a nice little match here, and it was, there was no down point. I thought maybe this is the down point. As we ramp up to the last couple matches.
Nah, man, this is a great spot again for ROH getting to show off. Because this is I don't want to.
I knew it looked familiar. Andrew O'Hare, did you guys notice that the first couple of minutes of the match were an exact reenactment of Savage Steamboat? I had a feeling they were doing an exact reenactment. I couldn't put my finger on. It's been a while since I watched Savage Steamboat. I don't have it as high as on my list as everybody else does, so I don't go back to it as often.
I just remember being a kid and the whole ring bell thing was. Never mind. Just beside the point.
Okay.
Also, how does one even conceptualize the lethal injection? First of all, amazing name.
Yes,
Second of all, I don't know how it works, but it does.
it does.
So good. So good. And yeah. And this is because I would not. I'm hesitant to use the word throwaway match, but as far as the ROH title, Flip is not going to win the ROH title in this situation.
No.
But he gets to challenge for it. And that's the beauty of this weird mega show is you get to see something you kind of don't get to see anywhere else. But
You got
you get to see
him
it actually in action.
You got to see him earn his way in,
Yeah.
and then you got to see him go toe to toe with the world champ and look great.
Yeah.
That's important in wrestling. I think people sometimes focus way too much on the wins and losses. I mean, there's times where the wins matter. A bad guy needs to get a big win here to look credible. I understand that, but
If good guys need odds to overcome, man. You don't do that without taking a loss every once in a while.
yep. So, again, really great match. I don't know that there's much else to pull out of it, though.
Yeah.
So that moves us on to. Is this Omega?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Is that right?
I think so. So you've done two.
Nah, that's a matter of order stuff, dude.
Yeah, this is way out of order, but I'm just seeing.